Good morning. This is the Great Basin prescribed fire and smoke transport briefing for Wednesday, February 8th. It's been a fairly dry week. Precipitation on the light side covering much of the area, but you can see it's below normal here on the right-hand side by as much as near 0% of normal in the dark red. Areas in the yellow closer to 50% of normal weekly precipitation. I've been looking at this for quite some time. Observed precipitation during the monsoon of the mid and late summer here, as well as the winter start from October through December. We see that we have quite a bit of wetness here in parts of Nevada for both periods and into parts of western Utah. So we'll be looking at that for the development of fine fuel later on this coming fire season. Right now, our 100-hour fuels driest in the yellow. Some places that have been dry the past 7 to 14 days, but still values above 10%, so no major concern, otherwise quite dormant. We've had a bit of snowfall here in the Sierra, as well as the higher terrain of Utah, Wyoming, and the central mountains of Idaho to the tune of 6 to 12 inches. Snow cover across the area quite extensive across all of the higher and middle terrain areas, even some patchy snow in the valley floor. Our snowpack incredibly healthy, as much as 340 to 370% of normal across parts of Utah. Overall in the dark blue, definitely 50% or higher of normal snowpack. Our lowest snowpack level still slightly above normal up in the mountains of central Idaho and western Wyoming. Satellite imagery shows deep low over Texas. Next little disturbance here moving into northwestern Nevada, but nothing really significant the next couple of days. So here's the map. Broad northwesterly flow with cool air coming in. Next batch of clouds pushing through the Pacific Northwest. 7-day is benign in the green. Our daytime humidities are between 40 and 50% in most areas, but kind of dry down in Vegas, closer to 20. Winds kind of gusty out of the west-northwest. You can see those strongest winds here in the purple and orange shades. And if we go through to our next slide, you can see the high pressure ridge building in. We'll get warming and drying, but also some inversion starting to come on in. We can see the this will be on Thursday, the light winds in the purple, stronger winds coming in out of the northeast and downsloping off the higher terrain, quite gusty down there in the Vegas area, Spring Mountain, southwest Utah. You can see the humidities dry out quite a bit down there. Our vertical mixing, overall, just looking at some longer lasting inversions, we see the blues and purples through here, but otherwise good mixing into some of the higher terrain. High pressure and control still over most of the Great Basin on Friday, but starting to slide eastward. Lots of dry air. Next storm system starting to take shape off the Northern California coast. You can see some of those winds picking up off the Sierra and into the Snake River Plain, otherwise light winds. Humidity quite dry down there, near 10% or even upper single digits as you get to southern Nevada. Our mixing height still those long-lasting inversions in the blue and purple, but good overall mixing where you see the other colors of the green and yellows. That's a vertical mixing of several thousand feet above ground level. Only light precipitation over the next 3 days in most areas. Now later on, Saturday, that storm system slowly starts taking shape through here, and by Sunday it actually drops quite a bit south of the Great Basin for the most part, at least initially, but pushing moisture into parts of Arizona and New Mexico, and it pushes to our south. And by Monday and Tuesday, we'll be watching another storm system actually intensifying, bringing the next chance of widespread precipitation probably towards the middle part of next week for most of the Great Basin. So precipitation, this is Saturday morning through Monday morning, and then Monday morning through Wednesday morning, we see with that next storm system, that's really our next chance of more widespread precipitation. Some of this might be a little underdone depending on how future computer models progress. Total 7-day precip. Again, it'll be another fairly dry week. This is below normal for early to mid-February. The long-range outlook, February 15th through the 21st. So for the third week of February, a strong, cooler or colder than normal signal centered right across the Great Basin. Precipitation normal for the western half of the Great Basin, somewhat above normal for the northern and eastern portions. And this concludes our briefing. Have a great day.